What up, though? What up, though? First of all, thank you for everybody who turned into my channel. Thank you for everybody who's been liking, sharing, subscribing. Big shout out to my fellow YouTubing brother. I've been trying to do a collab with him, but I've been so busy with my own business, my own channel, and doing everything. But big shout out to Big Ward, the genius. Much love and respect, man. But today is a beautiful day, man, to live in the country that we live in. And I just want to talk a little bit about all these deportations that's been happening. You know, there's so many people protesting against deportation, but you got to remember, when everybody wants something for free, everybody wants something for free. Everybody want to be, just keep bending the rules, just keep bending the rules. And make no mistake about it, I voted for Trump, but I don't agree with everything he does. And originally I used to always vote for Democrats, and I used to always just say, well, they could do no wrong. But I don't agree with everything Trump does. But one thing I do agree with him on is getting these illegal immigrants out of here. For so many reasons. Because it's like, if you ever shopped at the Gucci store or the Louis Vuitton store or somewhere that was nice, or you ever went to a nice, clean restaurant with your wife or your significant other, they don't just let anybody in. You know what I'm saying? They just don't let anybody in. You have to have a reservation, or you have to be on a schedule. And I think that's what America has gotten away from. We just think that just letting anybody in is cool. Like, anybody could be here. And I believe this movement is just going to destroy America. Make no mistake about it, I love my country. Is my country perfect? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely not. I mean, absolutely not. There are things that, you know, that has happened to me with the police in my life. You know, there's certain things that has transpired. But make no mistake about it, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else but in the United States of America. You know, if you ever shopped at the Gucci store or a Louis Vuitton store, you could walk in, but sometimes when they gonna ask you if you coming to make a big purchase, you do have to make an appointment. Or they only let certain amount of people inside the Gucci or the Louis Vuitton store or whatever store. You know, it's not like shopping at the supermarket where they want 1 million people in there at the same time. You know, there's rules and regulations to everything. You know, you go shop at Costco, you have to have a membership. You can't just walk in off the street. You shop at BJ's, you know, feeling my tooth. You have to have a membership, you know. Sometimes you go into Mercedes-Benz. You know, you have to be on a list. Like, just even in my Ram truck, you know, I was just going to get an oil change. You can't just drive in there when you feel like it. You have to have a set appointment. And I think that's something that African American people and these liberals don't understand, that there has to be some kind of stability or some kind of structured plan for America. And we've been going off of not having a plan for so long that when somebody tries to structure something or make something more efficient and organized and not just let everybody in, you know, then it's a problem. You know, I live in the inner city of Detroit, and I always say the biggest difference between living in the inner city and living in the suburbs is just structure. You know, in the suburbs, you can't just, in some suburbs, you can't just paint your house whatever color you want. You know, You can't just let your grass grow and not cut it. You can't have trash on your front of your yard. You know, there's rules and regulations to this thing, man. And you know, these liberals, they just want to let whoever in. And then we want to cry when our children get abducted or our women get raped or we dealing with crime and killing in our community. You know, so it's just backwards to me, man. It's extremely backwards to me, and I think it's sad that we can't be real about this, man. You know, we just can't be real about this. You know? So I just think it's time we need to wake up and just understand that we need more structure. We need more structure in our country, man. And Trump is cleaning up. He's getting with the president of I think he was either one of the countries where they got a big, large jail cell, and they used to be the murder capital of the world, and now they're one of the safest countries in the world. So Trump has a plan, and anything that's gonna be safer for me and my family, I'm all for it, man. So this is Untouchable City Prepper. Like, share, and subscribe. I love you with the strength of Christ. Thank you for tuning into my video today.